Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into what is arguably the most intensely debated, fiercely contested topic in sports history. But look, instead of just shouting our opinions at each other, we're going to dive straight into the data to see what actually happens when the ultimate unstoppable athlete goes head-to-head with an absolutely unparalleled genius. So who is the true greatest of all time? Now, you probably already have a favorite, right? Most of us do. But today, we're putting all those personal biases completely aside and letting the raw numbers tell the real story. We're going to break down the data to see exactly how these two phenomenons compare across the absolute most critical aspects of the game. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this heavyweight bout down. We're going round by round. The goal-scoring race, Champions League dominance, playmaking and the eye test, head-to-head matchups and peak years, and finally, the World Cup decider. All right, let's kick things off with round one, the goal-scoring race. When we look at sheer overwhelming volume, the numbers are just staggering. Cristiano Ronaldo sits at 976 career goals to Messi's 919. That is a massive 57-goal advantage. With more hat tricks, more headers, Ronaldo basically operates like the final boss of goal scoring. He's become arguably the greatest pure goal scorer the sport has literally ever seen. But here's where we get a fascinating twist in efficiency. Ronaldo took 1,330 games to reach his total. Messi, on the other hand, hit his 919 goals in 166 fewer games. Because of this, Messi actually scores at a higher rate, 0.79 goals per game, compared to Ronaldo, 0.73. And if you take away penalties, well, Messi sits at 835 non-penalty goals, while Ronaldo has 792. It's just a totally fascinating contrast between total sheer volume and raw efficiency. Moving on to round two, Champions League dominance. Now, this is where Ronaldo's argument for being the absolute GOAT hits its absolute peak. He leads in overall goals, 140 to 129, and trophies, 5 to 4. But you really have to focus on that knockout goal stat. When the lights shine brightest, and it's literally win or go home against the best clubs in Europe, Ronaldo created a massive 18-goal gap, 67 to 49. That clutch dominance in the knockout stages, it is simply unprecedented. And this number brilliantly illustrates his total grip on the tournament, 17. 17 goals in a single Champions League campaign. Just take a second to process that against the world's most elite organized defenses. Scoring 17 times in one single season is an absolutely staggering, unmatched achievement in football history. Honestly, it's as if he treated elimination games like he activated a stat boost. When his team was facing a 2-0 deficit against Wolfsburg, what did Ronaldo do? Scored a hat-trick to save them. Facing another 2-0 deficit against Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid, bam, another hat-trick. When we are talking specifically about the pinnacle of European club football and delivering in the absolute most high-pressure knockout moments imaginable, Ronaldo's resume is just undeniable. Which brings us to round three, playmaking and the eye test. Moving beyond just putting the ball in the back of the net, the gap in playmaking is visually striking. When we look at how they orchestrate an offense, Messi separates himself dramatically. He has more than double the successful dribbles, over 4,000 compared to Ronaldo's 1,900. And looking at big chances created, Messi boasts 601 to Ronaldo's 252. While Ronaldo became the ultimate offensive weapon, the data really suggests Messi became the entire offense itself, distributing a staggering 418 career assists to Ronaldo's 261. But hey, we all know stats on a spreadsheet don't always capture the magic. That's why we actually watch the game, right? The eye test shows us a 35-year-old Messi manipulating elite 20-year-old top-tier defenders on the world's biggest stage in a World Cup semifinal to create a goal. It's about total, absolute control of the pitch. Let's look at round four, head-to-head and peak years. So what actually happened when these two titans stood on the exact same pitch during their primes? Across 36 direct matchups, the goal scoring was nearly identical, 22 to 21 in favor of Messi. But again, playmaking is the big differentiator here. Messi recorded 12 assists, Ronaldo's 1 in these battles. That gives Messi a total of 34 goal contributions to Ronaldo's 22 when they were sharing the exact same field. And really, nothing represents the incredible tension of their peak years better than that 2017 El Clasico.
Tied in stoppage time, Messi scores his 500th goal to win it, takes off his shirt, and just silently holds his name up to the Madrid crowd. I mean, no speech needed. It was iconic.
Now look at their absolute peak calendar years. The numbers are just mind-boggling. Ronaldo's peak was an incredible 69 goals in a year, a phenomenal achievement. But in 2012, Messi scored 91 times in a single year. He was dropping deep into the midfield, assisting, dribbling past half a team, and yet somehow still scored a record-shattering 91 times. As the source material notes, prime Ronaldo looked like the perfect football athlete, but prime Messi, he looked like someone completely broke the game's code.
And that leads us to round 5, the World Cup decider.
The international stage is really what permanently shifted this debate. Overall, Messi leads in World Cup goals and assists, but the knockout stages reveal a remarkably stark contrast. In those crucial win-or-go-home matches, Messi delivered 7 goals and 10 assists. Ronaldo, in those exact same high-stakes moments for his country, has 1 goal and 0 assists.
For years, the single biggest argument against Messi was that he lacked a World Cup trophy. But in 2022, he finally delivered. With 7 goals, 3 assists, and the Golden Ball Award for the tournament's best player, Messi became a world champion. He basically took the biggest perceived weakness in his entire GOAT argument and turned it into his absolute strongest asset.
So, let's tally up the scorecard for round 6, the final verdict.
The data presents a really fascinating split. Cristiano Ronaldo rightfully takes football's greatest pure scoring title and outright owns the Champions League knockout stages with some of the most clutch performances we will ever see. But the metrics show Messi winning in significantly more ways of actually playing the game, from scoring efficiency and playmaking to dribbling, head-to-head production, and ultimately, the World Cup. Our source material brilliantly summarizes it like this. Ronaldo could finish the masterpiece beautifully, but Messi created it, painted it, finished it, and signed his name at the bottom. Cristiano Ronaldo conquered football by breaking literally every limit placed on him, but Lionel Messi played as if those limits simply never existed in the first place. So based on all the numbers, all the trophies, and all the data we've covered, when an unstoppable force meets an unreachable genius, who do you think truly wins? That is ultimately for you to decide. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning what the data tells us.